Special colors spread in the cover. Straw Hat Crew, holding water guns, are riding on a giant Frankie robot flying over the sea, doing Astro Boy flying pose. Frankie giant robot has the same body as Frankie, but it has metal body and wings. And in its left shoulder there's the sentence, "We are eternal." This color spread is a tribute to Kazuki Yao, Frankie's CU in One Piece anime, that announced he's stepping down from his role from now on. Titled The Owl Library. Chapter starts where last one ended. Luffy officially thanks Saul for helping Robin while extending his hand to greet Saul. Luffy. Old man Saul. I heard you helped one of our fledglings back in the day. I really appreciate it. We're in your debt. Allow me to introduce myself. Luffy is using Yakuza's way of speaking, so everyone is amused because they have no idea where Luffy learned those words. Lol. Sanji. Who the heck taught you that routine? Luffy. Nobody. Robin, interrupting Luffy's speech. This is Luffy. Saul. Dereshi. Sure I know. The fella's world famous. Robin. But hey. Looks like you found them after all. Robin. Yeah. Just like you said. I actually found them. People willing to accept and protect someone like me. True friends. All Straw Hat Crew, except Luffy, Zoro, and Jinbe, starts crying again, thinking that they will protect Robin forever. Saul thanks everyone for protecting Robin. Saul says it's good to meet Robin's friends. Seriously, you've done great making it all the way to Elbaf. And sorry for spooking you earlier. Me and my assistant, Ange, were out here rehearsing that bit for a while. I used to be a Marine, so I know how impressive it is to be recognized as an emperor. Thank you so much for protecting Robin. Please keep it up. Luffy replies sure. No problem. Lilith introduces herself to Saul as Vegapunk. She and Bonnie travel too with Straw Hat Crew and Gerd in the SVAL. She says, "Hey Saul." "It's me." He asks, "HM? Have we met? And how the heck are you flying?" She says, "I'm Vegapunk." Then Lilith asks Jinbe to take out from the SVL one of the machine boxes she brought from Egghead. Gerd helps Jinbe taking it out. The box is a sealed capsule with a Vega sticker attached to it. Jinbe. You asked me to bring from Egghead. What's inside it though? Lilith. It's me. Luffy in shock. Another Vegapunk? Saul is confused. Lilith. Yeah, but this clone's different from US satellites. It's a perfect copy. I used it to visit this island 20 years ago. Stella couldn't exactly leave the lab for months at a time without those government dogs noticing. Now then, let's stop dilly-dallying and get to it. I've already added the cultivation fluid, but we won't be able to do a safe extraction till I make the necessary equipment. That's why I intend to build a new lab right here. Bonnie says, Lilithy, will that make it possible for you to help Papa too? She replies, that's the plan, Bonnie. Bonnie is happy. Saul, if you really are Vegapunk, then I'm thrilled to see you after 20 long years. But I don't get it. Why are you a woman? She replies, oh that? There's a perfectly logical explanation. The kids from Elbaf ask. Sir, are you done? Can we play now? Saul says, my bad, kids. Come on out. Thanks for waiting. The lady from behind says, I apologize for the belated introduction. I'm Ange, an assistant teacher here. She says, I don't mean to brag, but this is Elbaf's #1 school and library. Those tykes used the spring area as a playground. We had them hold off, so they wouldn't spoil Mr. Saul's performance. You went that far? Let me give you a tour of the premises. Luffy says that sounds fun. Usp says not so fast. I can't wait to see how Elbaf raises its mighty warriors. She says this is Walrus Folk's school. Mr. Saul opened IT 20 years ago at our late king's request. Luffy says this is gonna be a blast. Usopp says it's a training school for young warriors. Right? Saul says I'm gonna take Robin straight to the library. Gerd and you go on. Show them all around the school. Nami asks, are you coming, Chopper? Chopper says, wanna check out the library too. I bet the books are massive. Brooke says schools always make me nostalgic. Simp Sanji says I'll tag along and keep you safe, Namison. Frankie says I am more interested in that giant tree. Jim says yeah. It's huge. The boys say let's catch these shorties and play prisoners. Luffy says man, this really is a country of giants. Zoro says should I cut them? Usopp replies in anger no, you idiot. These giants are just kids. Be the mature one. The girls say you know we're not allowed to harm cute humans. Stop that. The boys are saying sorry. And they reply and don't call them shorties either. Luffy says they're so lame. Zoro says are these brats really Elbaf's future warriors? The kid replies hey. Watch it. You can't just say words like brat anymore. Usopp says this is surreal. We weren't even offended by that Shorite's comment. And aren't you guys meant to be wild fighters willing to pillage and burn the seas themselves? The kids say. Fighters? Now way. That's dangerous. Words like that are old-fashioned. Come on. You can't say bastard either. Zoro says but you bastards are the next generation of Elbaf warriors. Right? Zoro. Hey, that was an adult just now. Usopp. Old-fashioned? What's that meant to mean? Giant kids. You should probably move. You're gonna get told off. You're standing on Miss Ripley. We discover that during the conversation with the giant kids, Luffy and Usopp have been standing on top of Ripley's body that is lying on the floor. Luffy is on top of Ripley's breast, like when he met Shirahoshi. Ripley is a beautiful giant warrior with a lion tattoo in her face, and she is the biology teacher in Walrus Academy named Ripley. Usopp. We climbed onto a giant? Our bad. Ripley. Ha ha. No worries. You're featherlight. Anyway, I bet this is a culture shock for you, but all those legends of fearsome giant pirates are from 100 years ago, you know. Ripley says foul mouths? Aggression? Plundering? War? Those are relics of a bygone era now. They are shocked. Ripley says welcome to Elbaf, Straw Hats. I heard about you from Saul. And says while running there you are, Luffy. Sorry about our loud-mouthed brats. Didn't you just say words like that were behind the times? The kid says yeah miss you're so naughty. Do as I say, not as I do. Ripley says seek to trade with other nations. Not wage war. Our beloved late King Harold said those wise words. He often clashed with all the greybirds of the villages. Usopp asks King Harold. And says he was slain by his actual flesh and blood. That crazy prince. A visionary of a king who wanted to revolutionize our country. The country still refuses to recognize his claim to the throne. That's why Elbaf doesn't currently have a sovereign. Ripley says, and that brings today's history lesson to a close. Everyone, show these guys around school. The kids agree. Ripley says, hey Mr. Captain. You look different from that all-white look you had before. What's the deal? I was looking forward to seeing you like that. Luffy says, that? That's me at my freest. She says you resemble the legendary warrior from the old fables of Elbaf. It made my heart skip a beat. I'm from the last generation of Elbaf warriors, after all. Robin, Chopper, Lilith, Bonnie, and Saul arrived to the Owl Library. Just before entering, Saul, so you've pretty much already heard. Robin says it came up when we were trying to escape Egghead alive. That's how we ended up here. He says so you know how I couldn't stop worrying about those books. After seeing all the scholars dying to save them. That's why I went back to Ohara with Ajrudin and the others. I was overcome with tears when I saw how many of them survived. Each one a tiny spark of hope. Now, Robin, be careful. Watch what happens to that book you're holding as we enter. Robin. Oh. Chopper. What? Suddenly, when they enter in the Owl Library, the book Robin was holding in her hands turns into giant size. The book is now bigger than Robin. We finally see Owl Library in a beautiful double page. It is a mysterious library full of giant books. Around the giant bookcases there are a lot of massive tree branches hanging around them. And on one of the branches we can see a giant owl sleeping. Saul. Welcome to the mysterious All Library. Dereshi sure feast your eyes. Isn't it amazing? All these books giant-sized, it's marvelous, don't you think? Any book you bring in here gets gigantified. All the books we rescued from O'Hara 22 years ago can be found here. We made sure not to miss any of them. Not a single one. Chopper/Bonnie. Whoa! Robin remembers the words that Clover said her in the Tree of Knowledge when she was 2 years old, and then she cries with happiness. Clover passed. This is the world's greatest library. Do you like books? Saul. I never thought I'd have the privilege of showing you this. Cut to the realm of the dead. Loki is talking to someone named Mosa in Japanese. Mosa talks in a very polite way and seems to be a timid person. We don't know yet if Mosa is a man or a woman. Loki says, I guess you've also got nothing but free time, huh? Someone replies, I'm sorry, am I disturbing you? Loki says, Nah, I welcome a good disturbance. I have nothing to do but kill time. So that moment of true fear you mentioned before. Is that still what motivates you? Someone from Transponder Nail replies, yes. Even now, when I think about it, I can't stop the trembling. Loki says, ditto, it's so frustrating. We've been friends for a long time, but for one reason or another, we've never actually met face to face. If I was there in your stead, I'd have turned that place into a ruin and slaughtered the lot of them. He replies, I don't want that. Loki says, for a noble soul, you're naive, Mosa. You've gotta stamp them out without mercy. Only a fool gives their enemy a chance to get payback. He replies, thank you for your counsel. Loki asks, what? He replies, you use harsh words, but there's a streak of kindness beneath the surface. I've noticed that more and more recently. Loki says, hey. You're giving me the creeps. Don't do that again or you'll regret it. That kind of crap won't fly. Kindness? Never say that to me again. He says, please can you not shout? Loki says, shut up, Mosa. Just you wait till I'm no longer shackled. At the end of the chapter we cut back to Western Village of Elbaf, the village where Straw Hat Crew arrived in the last chapter. Dory, Broggy and the other giants are drinking while they wait for Straw Hat Crew return. Broggy. Hey! Wasn't the feast delayed? We're just drinking while we wait. Giants. You're having way too much. Suddenly a black lighting strikes in the village's castle. The absolutely epic final double page of the chapter, we see that a magic circle has appeared in the throne room inside the castle. Magic circle is the same we saw in Egghead when Gorosei appeared in the island, but this circle has no number. Remember that Saturn's circle had number 5 on it. From the magic circle 2 persons with black cloaks appear kneeling on the ground. First one is the hooded Shanks, who was talking to Gorosei during last Levely, chapter 907. Second one looks like a woman with bandages covering her mouth and her hair covering her right eye. Editor's message. We have invaders! End of the chapter.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.